we talked about the difference between giving and sharing. And so for me, I'm not a giver. I am a sharer, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way that I look at it, when I give to you, I no longer have it myself.
Okay.
So if I keep giving you, if I give you my energy, if I give you my money, if I give you my time, then what's left for me?
Come on.
And then I get bitter, I get angry, I get resentful. I feel like there's nothing in it for me. There's no benefit because I'm giving. Girl, I've gotten to a place, I ain't gonna give it to you, but I'll share it with you.
Welcome to High on Self-Care. I'm your host, Stacey Zeal, yoga teacher, crystal lover, high-functioning stoner, and CEO of MaryZeal.com, a community for stoners who love cannabis and are looking to prioritize their self-care. On this podcast, we'll explore ways that meditation, mindfulness, yoga, and of course, all things weed can help you to elevate your self-care. We'll explore ways to truly value ourselves, use stillness for self-discovery, and cannabis to go higher on our journey. Think of me as your sister stoner who lovingly encourages you to prioritize yourself and reap the benefits of this magical plant. If you're ready to create a life that holds space for your most valuable asset, that's you, by the way, take a deep breath, light your J, and let's dive in. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to High on Self-Care. My name is Stacey Zeal. And as always, I am super excited you are here. And I'm super excited for this episode because this is a special episode, y'all. This is going to be such a great episode. And I know I always say that, but let me tell you why, because it's going to be different this time. The holidays are coming. We are right near Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, holiday season. Everything is crazy. I know for me at work it's crazy. Everything is just crazy, right? And so I wanted to bring in one of my really, really good friends, someone who I consider one of my sisters, to just have a smoke and chat. Y'all, we have never done this on the podcast before and just sat and smoked and talked. I don't even have questions. I usually have questions written for the guests, and we usually talk about a specific topic. But today, in the spirit of Friendsgiving, in the spirit of just having a lighthearted holiday season, lightening up the mood. I know the holidays can be rough for some people. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people are in between. I really just wanted this episode to just be something fun. So grab your joint, grab your bestie, grab your tea, and just listen. We're not going to talk about anything specific. We're really going to go into some things, talk about friendship. We're going to talk about how we met. We're going to talk about being long distance friends or moving to a city together and making new friends as an adult. We're going to talk about, all kinds of just stuff like that. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Jen. Welcome to High on Self-Care. How are you today?
I am fantastic. It's a beautiful day in Vegas. How are you?
I am good. It is a cold ass day here in Baltimore, let me tell you. And we're getting to the season where I'm going to start complaining how much I miss Vegas.
And I'm going to keep telling you, girl, bring it home.
I know, exactly. So we met in Las Vegas. And she's just one of my really, really good friends. So tell us about who you are, what you do, and let's talk about why you love weed.
Oh, God. Okay. So I'm Jen. I am a nurse. I am an educator. I am a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. Weed makes me normal, man. So as a nurse, we learn about drugs and medications and I've been in healthcare my entire adult life. When I acknowledged my own things and diagnoses and took medication, accepted the help from the medical community, the medication's just not good for my brain. It's not good for my body. I don't feel good, even though I feel better, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I have found through weed different strains depending how I'm feeling. So let's manage my ADD and my anxiety. We're going out. We're going to have a good time. Okay, let's smoke a sativa and be happy and be peppy and bubbly. I think that done the right way, incorporated into your life, it's not like on TV. It's not just stoner days when you don't get anything done. So I think my love of the plant comes from the positive impacts it can have on life and social interactions, even my professional work. I'm so much more creative when I've got a good strain going and just don't know what it is, smoke something good, and then you just
and you be getting ideas and shit, just like, oh my gosh, like, what if we fucking went to the moon?
Like, we have to take some water with us if we go. Or we need like something that will make water out of the air or something, right? We can have these conversations.
You know, my ass would be lost as hell if we went to the moon. I'd be like, I don't like heights, y'all. And gravity is just fucking me up. But
gray there and glitter is my favorite color. So
oh yeah, it probably is very sparkly and pretty. I would imagine it is. Can y'all tell we smoked before? So let me tell you, today, y'all, I went to a coffee shop to just work because I feel like, you know, I work from home. I'm always in the house. And so I just wanted to get out of my house and go somewhere and work today. And it was so good. And so I, of course, took some weed with me because, you know, why would I go to a coffee shop and not have weed with me? Like, that just didn't make any sense to me. So I smoked this strain called Mimosa, which is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites for, like, you know, for being up and being awake and getting my brain going, and speaking of creativity and stuff like that. So that is one that I love. And, you know, one thing is so interesting. I find that sometimes the strains on the East Coast are different than what I've experienced in Vegas. And so, like, they have different names and stuff like that. So I'm just like, it's very regional. It's very interesting. So I have my pen here. This pen is, I don't actually know. I think this is a Bruce Banner pen. One of my other best friends who lives here in Maryland, she works for one of the growers here, and she gave me this pen. So what are you smoking on today?
So this is my daytime, and I don't know what it is. Kind of.
You just know it's daytime.
I know this is my daytime one. I also have a nighttime one. Because, you know, during the day, I need to be functional. I don't want to have high eyes and red eyes and have to tell people I'm just tired today. So I have a sativa hybrid for daytime and a heavy indica for night. So this is something punch. I found a dope ass Granddaddy Purple, like old school with a lot of myrcene in it.
Ooh,
so that's been my nighttime.
I love that. And so are you you mainly doing vapes now? Are you, because I think you told me that you haven't done flower as much.
Girl, it's tragic. So I'm allergic to flower.
Oh yes, that's what it was. You're allergic to it.
It's possible, you know, and I think, you know, so here's the deal, right? When you smoke weed, you cough. But when I smoke flower, I don't just cough. Like, I get all
okay. Like, yeah.
It feels different. So it made sense because I have outdoor allergies. Like, I'm allergic to grass and trees and pollen. Well, flower is, you know, from out there too.
Yeah.
I'm allergic. So I vape most of the time now.
Okay.
Well, flower for social situations for sure. I love edibles as well. But vaping is just so easy. No one knows you're doing it. Yeah. It's cheaper. I miss the smell of flower burning, though. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That's a whole moment, right? When you enjoy smoking, you're not just smoking to smoke, but when you enjoy it, and vaping doesn't give that to you.
Yeah. That's how it is for me too. I feel like flower gives me a different type of high. Like, I still get high on vapes, but it feels different. It's also, for me, very much an experience. I feel like I've been doing it more because I've been living in a place that is a non-smoking building, which is bullshit. But anyway, it's a non-smoking building, right? And so I've been having to go into my car and smoke my weed because I'm just not going to not smoke weed, right? But so I've been having to go to my car to smoke, and it's making it more of an experience. It feels like it's my commute kind of, because I do it in the morning. You know, I get up in the morning, go, you know, do my thing, smoke, come upstairs, work, go back down, smoke, get in the car, smoke it. And, you know, it's driving me crazy a little bit because I'm excited because I'm getting close to when I'm moving to a place where I can actually smoke on my couch again. You know how I love smoking on my damn couch. I love my couch, y'all. I am a big couch person. I love it. And so I'm getting close to it, but you know, it's starting to become like an experience, right? It's becoming like, you know, my my morning, I guess it's part of my morning routine, right? It's really very much like how I don't feel like my day has started until I've gone out, sat, had my weed. And now I'm like, and if there's anything that I cut out of my morning routine, it is not smoking, right? Like if I had, if I don't have time to do yoga, I definitely make time to smoke some weed.
For sure. I mean, it's part of your ritual. It's getting your mindset for the day, for sure, in the morning, right? I find that I've always, I mean, not always, but for years I've been smoking outside. Remember that apartment I had in Henderson over by Taryn?
Yeah.
That was the last time I smoked in the house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the other place that, we were smoking outside.
Yeah. So it's become that for me with flower, and I don't mind that. Let's go outside, get some fresh air.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. I find, though, that because I vape and I can do that inside, I'm smoking more than I was before.
Yeah.
Because, you just pick up your pen and no one even knows that you're doing it. So it's real easy to reach for the pen.
Yeah.
Whereas flowers, since I smoke outside, it was more of a hassle. Okay. And then is anyone going to smell it? And so I do smoke more now than I was when I was on just flower.
Yeah. One thing I recently got into was dab pens. So we bought a dab pen. Well, I bought someone a dab pen. He loves it. And I was like, oh, well, now I want to try it.
So we went to whatchamacallit together, to the consumption lounge. Together.
Nuwu.
One of my favorite spots.
Oh. Yes. Oh my gosh. Can I tell you? I thought about that place today because I was like, if I could have gone to a weed lounge and just bought the damn coffee with me, I would have did that.
I think I might go tonight, actually.
You should go. Oh my gosh. I miss it.
Girl, but so we want to talk about...
For those who don't know, Nuwu is I keep forgetting that we got people listening to this. Hey, y'all. So Nuwu is a dispensary. So it's in the dispensary in Las Vegas. And we used to go all the time because it is a place where you can actually smoke on site. So there aren't a lot of places in Vegas where you can smoke on site. I don't think there's really any right now, but I heard there's something opening on the Strip maybe. So
public smoking lounges were just recently approved. So they're going through the licensing, the licensing and all of that stuff.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be dope. Can you imagine? I mean, it's going to be dope because Vegas is that place where you're going to have it. Yeah.
It's stupid when you can go to a dispensary and buy it legally, right? And if you live here, it's great. Go to the dispensary, go home, go to the homies. But if you're a cannabis tourist, like we're getting a lot of those in town. I've been a cannabis tourist many places. But if there's nowhere you can go buy it legally, but there's nowhere you can legally take it to smoke it because it's illegal to smoke outside, technically. It's illegal to smoke in the casinos and hotels, technically. So Nuwu is great because the lounge is right there. But they get away with it because it's the Paiute tribe, Native Americans. And they have, so the dispensary is technically built on what's considered Paiute land, even though it's in the city. So they don't have to follow the state and county ordinances regarding public consumption.
Yeah. And we went to...
Remember when we went to...
I was literally about to say, what was it called? The Cannabis Cup? Yes!
High Times Cannabis Cup, Las Vegas.
Yes, that was so fun.
On Paiute land too, which is why,
Yeah. Yeah, it was dope. We did that. They have a dab bar there. And so the dab bar was outside that we did some fucking thing that looked, I don't even know. It looked crazy, but it was dope. And we were like, oh yeah, we're going to try it. And so they had food trucks, everything.
So we got there. So we smoked in the car before we...
Right, of course. Right. Y'all, listen, there's a thread. Me and my car, we get along real good, okay?
So we smoked in the car, and then we went in. And as soon as we walked into the first tent, it was the dab bar. So we stopped at the dab bar. We were there 10 minutes, and I already had to go sit down and get
there. Yes, we needed to go sit down. And I was like, I need something to drink. And luckily, they had it set up where it's like, as soon as you walk through the dab tent, there is seating right there and the food truck. So they had it set up nicely. Like,
yes. But it was pre-COVID, right? So
yeah, it was pre-COVID. Yep.
We were fucked up. We needed some air, had to sit down, sat at a table with other people who are vaping, and they're like, hey, you want to try it? Fuck yes, I want to try it.
Exactly. Like, why not? Of course. I came here for this.
Right. So great. So I think when we first got there, and we stayed like all day, but when we first got there, I think we spent longer sitting at that table than we had even been there yet.
Yeah.
With just the first dab stuff. It was a great day.
It was a great day, y'all. Like, I highly recommend finding you some friends you can smoke with. Like, when we first met, it's so funny. So we actually met on a Friendsgiving, y'all. We met at a house party on a Friendsgiving, and me and my partner, we were new in town. And so we got invited to the party, a friend that we had just met, and she invited us. And so all the people there, right? They had been friends for years, right? It was a bunch of people who had really like known each other for a little while. And so we were the newbies. And so we were just like a little nervous about it and stuff like that. But, we met and I didn't smoke yet. And so my partner went out and smoked with Jen in the backyard. And so they had an exchange. Good times.
So I'm going to say it because you can't just leave it there. Me and my partner did have an exchange, and because it was Friendsgiving, and these two strangers showed up, like, and I'm ignorant, right? So I'm outside smoking with your partner, and I'm like, "Why are you here?" I don't need any new friends. Who are you? And we have been friends ever since that day.
Literally, right? So, sorry, y'all, I'm eating orange. I don't know why I just started talking while I was eating the orange. But anyway, it's so funny. It's so interesting the way, like, one of the things I want people to take away from this episode is how making friends as an adult is hard, right? It is hard to make friends as an adult. And I can say, like, both of us moved to Las Vegas from somewhere else. So we weren't both born and raised there. What you really have to do is you start to just find connections with people, right? And that smoking started to become a connection, right? Like if I come meet people out and people say they smoke weed or somebody mentions weed, I'm like, ooh, hey, there's a connection there, right? We can be cool. And, so that's what it was. It was like, that happened. And then that whole night, I think we ended up spending the whole night together. Like we ended up, just talking and laughing and, just becoming really good friends. So I want people to understand that, and we had to build, our friendship for sure. Like, especially because my partner was, he had left for work for a little while. And so it was just me. And so I'm like, okay, I need some, like, some real friends. I need to occupy my time. So I'm like, we started to hang out even more and more when he was gone. And it's just been such a great friendship, I will say, like, and so I really want y'all to like take away from like, you can make friends as an adult, it's going to take some work. It takes some opening up. Like, I know for me, one of the things I had to work on when I first moved and started to, open myself up to actually making new friends was letting go of comparing them to my friends from home. Like I've had, if you've heard the friends episode I did a little while ago, and I'll link it in the show notes. If you heard that episode, I talked about how I've had friends who I've had for my whole life, right? Like my best friends I've known since I was literally 1 year old. We lived across the street from each other. We've known each other since we were one. My other best friend, I've known since the second grade. Like literally, like we grew up on the same street, and all that kind of stuff. And so when I moved away, I was the first one to really like to move away, like to different state. And so I was so focused on comparing new people I met to my existing friends that I didn't really see the beauty in them or see the magic in them, or, it would block me from opening up because I'm like, oh, well, she wouldn't respond like that, or Tracy wouldn't respond like that, or Brittany wouldn't have said that, she would have did this or whatever. And so, you really have to start to open yourself up to new people and new experiences. And that's how you make the friends, right? It's doing the work within yourself to allow yourself to open up to other people.
Yeah.
And that's just.
And it's hard trusting strangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's easy to trust strangers when you're young, when you're still in school. That's why young people have so many damn friends, because they trust everybody.
Right.
But it's through that process of having so many damn friends that you realize what all these people are negatively taking out of your life, and the negative impact they're having on you. So as we get older, that's why we start to shut ourselves off and we start to trust less. And you know, when you were young, I know when I was in high school, like I was cheerleader and, you know, those things. And I thought everyone knowing you was what was the goal. Girl, now I can move with 3 or 4 people.
Yeah. Right. And
meet new people. You know, it's because things just happen in adult relationships. And so you don't want that to happen again. So you're right. It's harder to let people in. It's harder to let those walls down. And when you initially meet someone, I know and I'm very outgoing. I never met a stranger. I'm that person that will talk to everyone in the entire bar. You know that.
Literally, y'all. Like, not exaggerating. Literally will talk to anybody, everybody. And my ass is just like, shut off and shy. And that's, you've helped me open up to, I'm like, okay, well, let's have party then. Like,
but actually being real with someone is difficult, right? Being able to sit down and have a real conversation and know that this person's not going to use it against me. They're not going to go tell everybody else. They're not going to take what I said and lie on it for their own benefit. That's hard as an adult, because we've all been through that at some point in our life.
And I've been through that with people who I've known for a very long time, let me tell you. And so that's the thing, is like, I agree. You know, as we get older and stuff, we close ourselves off more, and, you know, it's harder to open up. And, you know, because you do run into people, you don't know whether somebody's going to be, you know, real or not, or they're going to do all those things that you were saying. And, you know, I've had people who I've known forever who have done that to me. And, you know, so I want people who are listening to also understand that, you know, it can happen with new people, and it can also happen with old people too, you know? Sure. So, yeah.
So I had this really interesting conversation with my homeboy yesterday, and we talked about the difference between giving and sharing. And so for me, I'm not a giver. I am a sharer, though. Because the way that I look at it, when I give to you, I no longer have it myself.
Okay.
So if I keep giving you, if I give you my energy, if I give you my money, if I give you my time, then what's left for me?
Come on.
And then I get bitter, I get angry, I get resentful. I feel like there's nothing in it for me. There's no benefit, because I'm giving. Girl, I've gotten to a place, I ain't gonna give it to you, but I'll share it with you.
Come on, break down that difference for me.
Well, when I share it, I still get to enjoy it myself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna give you $20 to go get something to eat, but I'm gonna take you with me and we'll go get something to eat for $20.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that way we're both fed, not you're fed and I'm still hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to spend time with someone, but I don't want to give my time to someone. I want to share my time with someone. So no, I don't want to go and talk about football for 4 hours, because that's not what I enjoy. What I want to do is go and talk about football and hockey for 4 hours, because I enjoy hockey. So we can share that 4 hours. It's not all given to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. And in a sense, in a way that I'll relate that to self-care, right? Like, that's one of the things we talk about on the show a lot, is how do you pour into yourself so much that what you can also give people is your excess, right? Like, you can't give people everything you have. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? You can't help people. You can't make your dreams come true if you're empty, right? Like, you know, you can't, there are things that I want to do within my life, and things and visions that I want to bring to life. and, an empire that I am trying to build, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't, if I burn out before I get there, right? I'm not going to get there. If I
Right.
don't pour into myself and make sure that this is still aligned, right? Because sometimes you're doing something and doing something and doing something, and you haven't stopped to check with yourself to see, like, is this something I really enjoy? That's
Absolutely.
what would happen. That's what happened with me when I was a makeup artist. That stint in my life, because I was so focused on like doing and doing and doing that I didn't stop to say, Stacey, do you actually enjoy being this close to people? No, you do not, because you get supremely uncomfortable when you have to get so close to somebody's face. Right? Like, you don't like being rushed around. You don't like having to, I don't like having to exchange my physical time for physical dollars, right? Like, I don't like to have to do that. And so I didn't stop, right? I didn't stop to pour into myself, to listen to myself, to take that moment to breathe, And so I think that also with weed, it helps me to slow down. And that's one of the things I love about incorporating it into my self-care, right? Like when I smoke and I sit down and meditate, I actually feel like I'm in the moment. I'm slowing down. I'm sitting here. I'm not thinking about, your mind wanders, obviously, right? But, and that's normal, it's okay. But, my mind is not going 1,000 miles a minute like it usually is when I'm thinking about this or trying to do this or trying to accomplish this or trying to do this spreadsheet or whatever, right? Like, it slows me down. And I love that.
It allows me, because I am that social butterfly that's all over the place, right? But it allows my brain to slow down so that I can be more intentional. And I can give more. No, I can share.
Come on and share.
In my interactions with people when I've slowed down my thought process. And again, I have ADD. So I need something to slow down my thought process.
Hey, y'all. I wanted to jump in to tell you about one of my favorite ways to unwind after a long day over here on Team Mary Zeal, other than a joint. After a crazy day, we love to unwind with a yummy cup of hot CBD tea from Twin Flame Tea Company. In fact, when I started on my journey into CBD, this is one of the first products I tried, and I love it. Twin Flame Tea Company makes organic, herbal, hand-blended loose leaf tea that contains hemp, so you can get your daily dose of CBD in addition to the relaxation, y'all. My personal favorite is their You Need to Calm Down Chamomile Peppermint Hemp-Infused Tea. So head over to maryzeal.com/twinflametea to see all their yummy flavors and get on this CBD train.
Find that, when you talk about friendships, those friendships that are the least fulfilling are those ones where you're giving.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But those friendships like you and I have, girl, we share. Even when I sat on your couch, when I got to your place on Friday and left on Sunday and never left the couch.
Yeah.
Except to pee and go to the kitchen.
Right. I got snacks. I make sure my house has got some food.
I got weed. We'll go get some more. Girl, should we DoorDash?
Exactly.
Yeah. It was a sharing situation, right?
And we both enjoyed being able to sit and we love to go out. Like, mind you, we will go out.
Yeah.
We have been to Life is Beautiful 3 days of fucking Life is Beautiful. It was high as fuck the whole day, right? But fantastic time. We love that. But we also both love to sit on the couch and to just chill. And those are things that I miss for sure that we haven't been able to do in a while.
Can I tell you one of my favorite memories? I don't even know where we were, but we were out. It was just the two of us. We were out somewhere. And we were talking, and somehow it came up that I had never seen Kill Bill.
Oh, yeah.
And you insisted we leave where we were and go back to your house and watch Kill Bill. We would go and watch Kill Bill immediately.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yes. Oh my gosh. I remember that. And I don't know why I was just so into it, but I love that movie. Okay. I love Kill Bill.
And so we left where we were and we sat on your couch and we watched Kill Bill. We had snacks, of course. And we smoked, of course. And then we watched Kill Bill Volume 2 immediately after.
Yes. The second one right after it. Yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I love that. That's so funny. We did. Oh, I don't know where we were at. That's so funny.
I don't know where we were, but you insisted we leave right now. and go watch Kill Bill. Can I show you this? I know your podcast can't see it, but I got this for my birthday.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. It's like, y'all, this is so cute. It's like, what? So is it like what is it? It's like is it a bong?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a water bomb. Would you put water in it or?
It's a cactus water bomb. Yeah.
Okay. Good. A cactus. That's what I was trying to figure out. I knew what it was. And I kept thinking like succulent, but I'm like, no, Stacey, you're a plant mom. It's not it's a cactus.
You've been out of the desert too long. Isn't
I have been out of the desert. That is so cute. I love that. That is adorable. Where'd you get it from? You got it from a smoke shop?
All right. So is it commercial time? So my best friend, Mimi, you know Mimi.
Mm-hmm.
She found this weed. So, like Ipsy makeup glam bag subscriptions.
Ooh.
She found a weed box subscription.
Oh, okay.
And it's every month, just like an Ipsy bag is.
Yeah.
Everything $4.20 it's called.
Everything.
And so $45.
I'm gonna find it.
Ooh, $45, $60, something a month. I'm sure there's levels to it.
Mm-hmm.
But every month, girl, there's a new bong. They either send you a bong or a dab rig, a pipe,
Really?
like the full-on 5-item box. Bic lighters, girl.
What?
Not just Bic. What are the other ones? The good ones with the.
Oh yeah, the fucking are they Zippo one?
No,
not the Zippos.
Oh, that's the you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she gets one of those.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna sign up. I'm gonna find that for y'all too because that's dope. Because I've spent more than $45 on a bong myself.
On just one, I know.
And that comes with things.
She got like a Pickle Rick one. I love Rick and Morty.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, that's adorable. we're gonna definitely look for that and link that in the show. Because I think, and there are so many, innovative weed things out there, right? Like I love, all the people who are kind of bringing their skills from different industries into the cannabis space. Like I just met with a cannabis nurse. Had her on the podcast a couple episodes ago. And she talked about how she's doing like, cannabis advocacy here in Maryland and stuff like that for like cannabis patient advocacy type stuff in Maryland for the patients here. And I'm like, that is just dope. Like so many people and, putting together a subscription box, putting together apps and all kinds of things. And so I'm excited to just see where this goes. Do you think we're going to get legalization anytime soon?
I do. So there was a news report out here. Nevada recently made its first $1 billion in tax revenue on marijuana.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, I think I did see that too. Mm-hmm.
That kind of money the federal government can't keep ignoring.
Mm-hmm.
They're over there arguing about this package and that package, $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there. Real talk, if every state in the union can make $1 billion in tax revenue,
right? The
federal government then gets a piece of that, right? Mm-hmm. You can fund a whole bunch of social services programs at the federal level simply with weed tax money. That's how I feel.
I agree. I completely agree with you.
So even take some of, and I'm a total advocate. As a nurse, I have seen patients come through surgery not taking opioids, but using various types and methods of using weed. And they don't need opioids post-surgery. I don't believe in opioids. There's a place for them for sure, but that place, I think, tends to be on a hospital bed. I think that there's a lot more we can do with marijuana for a lot of medical conditions that people currently pop a pill for. I think that the universe gave us this plant for a reason.
I agree.
Recognize it for a reason.
Yeah.
So just from a revenue perspective, from a business model type perspective, as you talk about lounges and bus tours and subscription boxes and factories that are now making all of these things, even think about t-shirts, like your screen printing t-shirts and mugs and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of that tax revenue, when the federal government gets its piece, can probably put a huge dent in the cost of 2-year college, community college, JUCO, associate degree type education for everyone, right?
Right.
You certainly start doing some more things on a social level. which is totally in the spirit of the weed community as well, isn't it?
Exactly. And that's what I need it to be, right? That's why I think, I love people in the space who are doing the work and people who are advocating, because it really can do so much for so many people. Like, people who listen to the podcast, y'all know my story about how it helped me with sleep, right? Like when I met Jen, I didn't smoke, right? I had insomnia and I still, was just tired as fuck all the time, but, we were still partying, I guess. But I started smoking, and it's just like literally changed my life. Like, literally changed my life, being able to, and you don't realize, back when I was in my insomnia days, I still have it, but, before I was really smoking and when I was tired all the time, I didn't realize, I thought I was handling it well, right? Like I thought like, I'm sure, people have sleep problems, but I'm handling it really well, right? Like, I'm getting through the day, I'm doing my thing, I'm still able to function, I still go to work, all that kind of stuff. But, now that I'm on the other side of it, I realize how tired I actually was. I realize how much better you can feel when you do get good quality sleep, right? When you do like actually, use the plant in a way that helps you, right? And you identify what it is within you that you need help with, right? Like, I need help with sleep. So are there things I take for sleep? I need help with, sometimes focusing. And like, so I have things that I smoke to help me just really like, okay, Stacey, you need to focus and stop, having all these random thoughts. Or there are times when I want to have those random creative thoughts. And so I smoke something different or consume something different. And so, when you're intentional with the plant and when you really understand how you can use it for your benefit, I don't see how you can deny it for someone else. I don't see how you can tell a child or tell a parent that they can't give their kid weed and it helps them with their seizures, or it helps them with, a variety of other things that it can help with, right? Like, how can you tell me, no, you can't get any sleep. You have to go back to popping pills, popping sleeping pills that worked for only 2 weeks, and can't just not function of being sleepy, just be sleeping all the time. I don't see how you can really like tell people that when you've experienced, what it feels like to be on this side of the plant. And so I really hope that we get to legalization, at some really soon. Like I hope there's like Maryland isn't even, Maryland is medical. Let me tell you, it's goddamn expensive. Okay. It's still expensive because it's medical here.
Really expensive too. I want to, so when you met me, I was taking Ritalin for my ADD.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so my routine was pop my Ritalin in the morning before work, settle down, and then I smoked a lot of weed to come down from that Ritalin because that's an amphetamine. Mm-hmm. So that stimulant, and I love sleep. Oh, Lord. So I needed to start smoking as soon as I got off work to come down from that Ritalin, but I needed the Ritalin to get me through my day so that I could actually be a functioning, productive employee, right? Mm-hmm. So I weaned myself off of the Ritalin, but in coming off of the Ritalin, I had to up the weed a lot. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So then it meant, well, you can't just be stoned at work all day, right? Mm-hmm. It's not going to work very well when you have patients. Right.
Yeah.
So it became about one, coming out of patient care and not doing direct hands-on patient care. I'm an educator, right? Mm-hmm. And finding the right combination of caffeine, marijuana, the timing of taking it. And it's a hassle. It's a pain in the ass, if I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it is so much better. I feel my body feels better doing this than taking Ritalin. It's just completely chemical, right? Yeah. Completely synthetic. And I don't feel like myself. It's addictive. I mean, we're talking serious drugs. Like, you want to prescribe me amphetamines, but we lock people up for taking methamphetamine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's dumb. It's so dumb. So with the right strains and the right amounts at the right time, you absolutely, I think, can handle all of these other things while still being social and having relationships and being productive and being creative. And like you said, it kind of is a drug. As much as if I played golf, I would listen and someone said they played golf, I'd be like, let's be friends.
Right, exactly.
When when we're out and I smell.
Oh, I love it. I love to be out and you just randomly smell weed. And it's like, oh, there's someone else that let's be friends.
It's just, gosh. I feel like we need to take the stigma out of it. Yes, I smoke weed. Yes, you smoke weed. But people like golf. People like cars. People like, you know what I mean?
Nobody has a fucking issue with lavender. No. Lavender gets a pass. She's cool. But we draw the line at weed. Sister Weed is just trying to help us balance our bodies out. But we got an issue with her. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, well, and it does make sense. I mean, because that's, if everyone stops taking Ritalin and finds the right strain to manage their ADD, then Big Pharma has an issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're hitting their bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
If you make weed super strong so that it can handle chronic pain in patients, then Big Pharma is pissed because now you're not prescribing their opioids the same way. I think that marijuana has been demonized from the very beginning, always for an economic reason, not because it's ever been a detriment to society.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to use, what was his name? William Randolph Hearst, the paper guy. He didn't want people using hemp instead of trees.
Yeah, I heard about that before.
Even though the plant is better.
Maybe you told me that. Probably
me, because it's one of those random facts I have.
Yeah.
And Big Pharma doesn't want it because that'll replace it. Does Big Tobacco want marijuana legal the way that it is everywhere? Because how many people would stop smoking squares and start smoking weed instead?
Right.
They could.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at this point it really is just economic. But when you have a state like Nevada, which Nevada means Reno and Las Vegas. The whole
essentially
comes down to two cities.
Exactly.
But $1 billion.
And most of that is Las Vegas.
For a state with only 3.5 million people in it, to have $1 billion in weed tax revenue money, the federal government can't ignore that for very long, can they?
Yeah. Right.
And we're a teeny tiny state, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it's coming. I do.
Yeah.
I think Republican or Democratic administration, it's coming.
Yeah.
Because the money, they need it. Whatever, the federal government is greedy above all else, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why. And then they say that's why New York pushed theirs through so quickly, because they needed the money. They need the money to recover from COVID. And I mean, honestly, like, I'm excited for New York cannabis. I love New York City. I love the city. I'm an East Coast girl. I've always have been an East Coast girl for sure. And so I'm excited, but I do miss Cali weed. California got the best weed, y'all. Vegas has really good weed too. Really good weed.
So I am a weed tourist.
I love that. I want to go on some weed tours because that industry is one of the ones that I am very interested in tapping into.
I am a for sure weed tourist. So me and a very good friend, you know her, went for one of my birthdays. I love my birthday. My birthday's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Went for one of my birthdays to Seattle for a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And we flew first class. All I wanted to do for my birthday was smoke, eat oysters, and sleep.
Oh, I bet y'all did all of those things.
All of those things.
Oh,
so
I
great.
love it. Oh my gosh, I would have loved it.
And it was so great. Washington's got really, really good weed.
Okay.
And
I've heard that. I've heard that Denver has cheap weed. I've heard that Seattle or Washington has cheap weed.
I have done Denver as well. I have weed toured Denver and Colorado Springs as well.
Oh my gosh, that's dope.
Cheap weed.
Mm-hmm.
But not as good as Seattle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
California, up and down the whole damn state. Anyway, just up and down. Something about California, like their mid-grade is fire.
Yeah. That's the thing about California. Like, people don't understand, like, and people on the East Coast don't understand, because like the California weed that comes over here has been shipped and passed over and traded and done all this. Right. But like, if you like going, remember we went for, was it your birthday that we go? No, was it New Year's?
Was it New Year's?
I think it was New Year's. Yep. Okay. New Year's. We went to MedMen. Yes. And this is the first time I had been.
Like it was 7-Eleven, like on the show.
It literally was like 7-Eleven, y'all. Like we went in and they had, it was like 7-Eleven with iPads. Like they had iPads everywhere. And we literally went in because like the one that we went to happened to be like, I don't know, it wasn't a back alley. It wasn't a parking lot. It wasn't a back alley, but we had to walk down a little dark hallway to get to the.
It was like a hallway through an office building, but office buildings are outside, not inside.
Yeah, right. So we went to the MedMen, and that was a really good experience. We bought so much weed. We bought so much weed. And can I tell you, I miss not having a limit, because in Maryland there's a limit. I mean, well, I know that there is like a limit, but in here,
it's hard to reach the limit here.
Yeah, it's hard to reach the limit there. Here, we have a limit, and I don't necessarily reach it that often, but I just don't like feeling like I have a limit. You know, like I just don't like having it. I don't like having to have a card. I got to take my card with me because, you know, forget my wallet, I can't get no weed. So, you know, yeah.
I reached the limit once.
Okay.
And it hurt my heart. It was like getting a fresh drink as soon as they turn the lights on and say last. That's exactly what it felt like in my heart. But it was 420. And the specials
it was on 420?
Were amazing. How could you not? Girl, like $20 1 gram cartridges.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen it. Oh my gosh. Speaking of 420, you had a fucking literally, y'all, the only and first and best 420 party I have ever been to. And picture this. Las Vegas. So it's hot. I mean, it was warm. It was nice, right? Yeah. So Vegas in April is really nice. So if you're planning a trip to Vegas and you want to beat the heat, go in like a springtime, you know, kind of right before it's, because the pools open up in March anyway. So it's warm enough to get in the pool at that point. But so, you know, picture this, like backyard, pool, fucking chefs cooking, fucking table. The entry price was like a joint or 2 joint. You had to bring some weed with you. And so we bought, you know, we obviously bought as much weed as we could. I was rolling all morning. I wasn't even rolling, you know, I don't roll. I stuff cones. So I'm like stuffing cones all morning. So I'm like, okay, let me make sure we got plenty of weed. I'm excited. So we go, and we had a fantastic time, y'all. We had infused broccoli and cheddar soup. Can I tell you, I have not let this damn infused broccoli and cheddar soup go since I had it. That was fantastic. Fantastic. And your cousins were the chefs. Are they still doing Cannabis chefs? Because we can shout them out.
Let's shout them out. THC, the hippie couple. They made, I called my cousin with a vision of an all infused 3-course meal.
Mm-hmm.
And he loved the idea. He's like a weed fucking wizard, man. He's like the Harry Potter of weed. He grows his own strains. And so he came up with a killer menu, and every bite of what we ate was infused from the appetizer.
Even the drinks too. Mm.
Correct, the drinks as well. So we had appetizers. We had even the salad, because they infused the salad dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Soup and salad. What did we eat? I love meat on a stick. So I know we had some chicken on a stick.
Yeah, I think it was chicken on a stick. I think there was the big ass shrimp too that we had.
Tons. Yeah, Those were in olive oil that had been infused. Oh my God. He even made the infused banana pudding. That was my special request.
I saw that. I had that. And they were in little individual cups. It was so cute.
And the cheesecake. He did cheesecake bar too. There was infused caramel. Like it was absolutely amazing. Yes. I don't think I can ever do another one as good, so I'll never do another one again.
That was it was so fun, y'all. And when Jen does a party, she does a party. Like there's decorations, there's decor, there's all the things, right? There's balloons, there's everything, right? Like it was an affair for sure.
Let's have a party, man.
We need to have a high on self-care party. I need to get back to Vegas. I haven't been back since before the panty. and I'm dying to come back.
It's not
like I can't be single coastal. I can't take this winter. Like, this is my last winter.
Let me tell you what, it was 79 degrees yesterday. And it was glorious. But that was the low of the week. The week started like 81, 82.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's literally like 59 degrees here. That's the high. It's 59 today, right now.
That's chilly. That's chilly.
I took my winter coat with me this morning when I left, because I went to go, like I said, I went to go work at a coffee shop. I was like, oh, Alexa said it was like going to be 30. And she said it was 30 degrees when I got up. And then she said the high was going to be 59. I said, oh, let me take this damn winter coat with me. Mm-mm.
Oh, come on back out here. It gets cold out here too, though.
Yeah, it does.
40-degree rule. Once it hits 40 degrees, I'm not trying to go out the house unless I'm getting paid.
Right. I feel you. Yeah, the same thing. Like it definitely gets cold. And I think people don't expect that. People go in like December or November and stuff. I mean, even November, like, we got to take into account global warming because it is fucking warm. In most of the places, it's warmer than it should be. But usually, like, if you're going in December, like during the daytime when the sun is out, it's fine. It's great. It's beautiful. As soon as the sun goes down,
5 p.m., what happens?
Right. It gets cold as a bitch. Let me tell you. Cold. Because it's desert. So people don't realize that it's literally just desert. So it's either sun and heat or it's just cold. And that's it.
And I realized this last night because I went out during the day. And like when I left work yesterday, it was like 79. I went out last night. It was like 75 still, but the sun was down and I was cold.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the sun is up or down is warm or cold.
Yeah.
Because 70 at nighttime, that doesn't feel so good.
Yeah.
It's a little busy out here.
Yeah. It is. Think about when it gets cold here. And it's been raining. Oh my gosh. Like,
well, we need some rain. But you know what else people don't expect coming to Vegas in the summer?
Mm-hmm.
They think it's going to cool off at night.
Oh yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the gag there. It does not, in the summertime though, let me tell you. If it is 110 degrees in the daytime, it is going to be 109 degrees in the nighttime. Okay?
That is
like, that is definitely, I'm glad you pointed that out because you definitely have to watch out for that. Like in the wintertime, yeah, when it's cool, yes. But if it's hot during the day, in the summertime, I remember when I moved there, it was June and my air conditioning in my car was broke because I had literally, it literally broke like 2 months before I moved. Like already had my car scheduled to be shipped to Vegas and my air conditioning broke. And I was taking it to the mechanic. I took this to the mechanic literally like 6 times. And every time he would fix it and then it would break again. Fix, break, fix, break. And finally, it was the day for my car to come. My day for my car to get shipped. Well, I left before my car left. So I had left a week before. My car got shipped a week after I left. And I got there and I had to drive around in the car. Oh my gosh. I had no air conditioning. It was a mess. Let me tell you. My friends came to visit me. My roommate, he came to visit me. And I had them in the backseat of my car with no air conditioning. And it was 110 degrees in the middle of June in Las Vegas. And I just was like, I bought a new car. As soon as I got my second pay stub, I bought a new car.
But the thing about Vegas too, like we don't have a public transportation system that you want to deal with out here.
Yeah.
Like
it's hard to get around. I mean, it's not easy
to get around.
Yeah. I mean, going up and down, like, the strip, you can get on a bus if you want to. I mean, I wouldn't, but you can get on the bus on the strip if you want to.
In the strip.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So in Chicago, you can jump on the train and get wherever you need to go. Get off the train and walk a couple blocks or get off the train. I mean, I'm not a bus rider even in Chicago, but I know that I could get on a bus.
Yeah.
To go a couple blocks if I needed to from the train.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no train here, man. There's no train. The bus is not where I want to be, personally.
Yeah. Right. They're a little shifty.
No shade against, those that are there, but
right.
But I don't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta have a car in this town.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, girl, Ubers are a whole nightmare here.
Really?
Are you guys having an Uber situation out there?
I haven't actually had to take an Uber in a while. Because one, I don't really leave my house that much. And two, when I do, I just go to my mom's house or something and I just drive.
So we went out for Halloween.
Uh-huh.
And we just went from Jace's house downtown to downtown.
Mm-hmm. Supremely close. Yeah.
7-minute drive. Girl, do you know the Uber wanted $58?
58? I thought you was about to say 15.
But
What?
there were like 2, 4, 5. There were 5 of us. So, I mean, all right, fuck it. Fine, we'll do it.
Right.
So we were, call the Uber. And then it kept like your driver canceled, looking for a new driver. Your driver canceled, looking for a new driver. Like, fuck this. We just wound up driving.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
And then
that is crazy.
Someone, old school style, had to be the designated driver.
Yeah.
Because, we don't do that drunk driving thing out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I miss you. I miss us being able to just be in person and smoke and have a good time.
I haven't had a chance to sit on your new couch yet.
I know. You haven't had a chance to sit on my new couch. Let me tell you, it was a battle to get this damn couch because I ordered a couch. I'm going to tell this story and then I'm going to close out because this is crazy. So my mom treated me to a new couch. And so I ordered the couch on Amazon. And the couch comes in 2 boxes. 2 boxes. The second box arrives. The first box does not.
Oh.
And so me and Ryan, but it says like in my tracking, the next box is coming the next day. So I'm like, okay, next box must have just been late. This is when, the shipping was crazy. And so we put together half the couch. And mind you, the first box had the cushions of the couch, the pillows. And so the second piece was just the base and the chase. So we couldn't sit on it, right? So there's no cushions, there's nothing. So there's just the base and the chase. And so the next day comes, couch doesn't come. Next day, my tracking is just saying like, it's on the way or something. And I'm like, what the hell's happening? So I'm trying to get in touch with Amazon, get in touch with them. And they're like, oh, this couch, like your box got damaged on the way to you. The first box got damaged on the way to you. I'm like, okay, so can you just send me the first box? Like, I need the cushions. And they're like, well, it's sold out. What? It's sold out. And we can't just ship you one. You'd have to send us the second box back. And then we can, place a new order for you. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to get this big ass, after all of this back and forth, right? I finally am like, okay, they're going to give me a refund. And I'm like, how am I going to get this big ass couch out of my fucking house?
Right.
Like, I can't take this to the UPS store.
Right.
You have a box big enough for this fucking couch, for this bottom of this couch, because we threw the box away because it said it was coming, right? It said it was coming. The next day, so we threw the box away. And either way, it was, how you going to get a couch back into the box, right? Like, I'm not a fucking factory. I don't know how to put a couch back into a box, right? And so I'm like, okay, who's going to come and box this up and come get it? And so they have this other company called Fetch or something like that. I think that's what it's called. It was something like that. And so they're like, okay, well, they're going to come and get the box, get the couch for you, box it up and bring it to us. And I'm like, okay, cool. I called them. I had to make an appointment. They came, their closest appointment was a month out. So I had literally and they wouldn't give me the refund on Amazon until I sent back the first box. And so I'm just like, this is insane. And so I had this couch literally like sitting in my living room. I couldn't sit on my couch for like 2 months because it took time to get to me. Then I got it. The other piece didn't come. Like, it just was crazy. It was crazy. And so now I had to order a whole new couch. And now I finally have a whole new couch. I mean, not finally, this was back when I first moved, but yeah, literally. It was crazy.
So it's a good thing you like couches and you use them the way that you do.
I do. So I use my couch.
All your money and frustration worth out of that couch.
Yes. And let me tell you, when I move and I can smoke on my couch, it's going to get even more use because now I've been smoking in my bed. Oh my gosh. It's been such a joy talking to you. And I hope that everybody who just listened to this episode, I hope that y'all just had some laughs. I hope that you got some little nuggets. I hope that, you walk away knowing that you're capable of making new friends as an adult, right? It can really turn into something that's a lifelong friendship. If you open yourself up to it, if you allow yourself to just be open to new friends and new people and new experiences, and you really kind of find people who are interested in the same things you're interested in, like weed, right? Like find people who like weed, who love weed, but also just find people who are genuine people. And you are such a genuine person. I love you so much. You inspire me to be my whole self all the time. Because let me tell you, Jen is always herself. She is never not herself. And I admire that. And I love that. And so I love you so much. So thank you for coming on my podcast and doing this with me and having a kiki and all the things. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoy listening to it. And I'll cringe hearing myself.
Oh my gosh. I thought I would too sometimes. So sometimes I'll listen to an episode that I've done. Usually with a guest, I'll listen to the guest episode. Sometimes I'll listen to the solo episodes if I'm like, ooh, I really felt like I felt good when I recorded that episode. But, like I'm like, ooh, that was shit. That was a good episode. But oh my gosh. So yes, we're gonna close this episode, y'all. So I'll see y'all on the next episode. So this is how the rest of this year is gonna go. I am tired. We have recorded, this is episode 45, something like that. We have recorded 45 episodes this year. So the rest of this year, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take some much needed self-care. I'm going to take some time off. So you're going to have some repeat episodes of my favorite episodes that we've had throughout the year. So you're going to still get a new episode every Thursday, but it's going to be a repeat. So maybe you'll hear it again and have a new perspective, or you'll hear it, and just be reminded of the amazing lessons in it. So thank you so much for being a listener. We have passed 6,000 downloads, y'all. Because of y'all literally share my podcast. You tell me all the time. I appreciate it. So thank you so much. I will talk to y'all in the new year. But yeah, have a great holiday. Have a great Christmas. Have a great all the things, whatever you celebrate. If you're not celebrating anything, just have a great life. And I'll see y'all on the next episode.
Well, that's a wrap on another episode. Thanks so much for listening. If you got a nugget of information or inspiration from this episode, here are 5 ways you can support the podcast. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/high-on-self-care to send your token of appreciation. You can shop Mary Zeal's favorite things. This is a list of products that we love and have actually tried over at maryzeal.com. And some of these products contain affiliate links that give us a kickback when you shop their site at no cost to you. You can leave us a review on your podcast app of choice. If you are listening on the web, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on the podcast app of choice. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all the places. 4th, you can share the podcast with 3 friends that you think will benefit from all the nuggets that we drop. And lastly, you can join my email list to get episodes sent to you weekly and learn about all the fun new things we have coming up on maryzeal.com and the podcast. All the links are in the description. And I will catch you on the next episode.